Imagine having to go about your day-to-day life with a large tube sticking outside of your body. And every 2 weeks, this tube is increased to a larger size. Larger size means more pain. Unfortunately, this is a reality for a lot of people across the world. One certain example of this is when you have a narrowing of your bile duct called a benign biliary stricture. The bile duct serves to transport bile from your liver to your small intestine to aid in the digestion process. When you have a benign biliary stricture, your physician will need to expand your bile duct in order to restore the flow that once was there. In doing so, you'll go into your first procedure and they'll insert a tube or a catheter into your body. This serves to restore that flow. 2 weeks from then, they will bring you back in under anesthesia again, and they will remove that original catheter, that original tube, and they'll replace it with a larger size. This will happen every 2 weeks for the next 6 months until you have a significantly large size tube hanging outside of your body. Not only have you spent significant costs on the number of surgeries that you've undergone, but you've undergone significant amounts of anesthesia, as well as pain throughout the process within the actual procedure and having the physical tube hanging outside of your body impeding your daily lifestyle. Given this, there is a need for a catheter that is able to expand within the body and limit the use of numerous surgeries and numerous catheters and be able to do it all within the use of one single expansion mechanism.
That is what cathSPANSION has successfully accomplished, so the patient does not have to undergo this pain, cost, and danger of repeated surgeries. We have created an expandable drainage catheter that operates through a microhydraulic system with the ability to be placed in the body and be increased in diameter internally without ever having to remove it in an operating room. The entry site remains small, reducing infection chances, tissue scarring, and continuous pain. The physician will push water through the syringe into a tube which will expand the panels through a piston mechanism in the inner lumen of the catheter, expanding the diameter to the largest size of 24 French. To collapse the catheter for removal, physicians will draw the water out with a syringe. This returns the panels to the original configuration, reducing the catheter size to 10 French.
To test our concept, we have created a fully functional device and have proven that not only can this device expand to the size of the largest catheter starting at the smallest size, but it can also collapse back down to the entry size, allowing for a painless, easy removal. Not only has this been validated, but exact lengthening of this expansion has been analyzed to ensure that this expansion is properly placed to reach the success that your physician is seeking.
This catheter is the first of its kind, with no other expandable microhydraulic catheter systems on the market. Our device could also be made modular so that it could be integrated with previously existing catheters. Our catheter reduces significant costs for not only the patient by reducing the risk of infection and increased hospital stay costs, but it also saves even more for the hospital systems, reducing the angio suite usage for these procedures by 84%, saving about $43,000 per patient, with each minute being valued at $85.
Having a solution that expands focally the point of stenosis, whereby patients don't need to come into the hospital and have expensive and time-consuming exchanges, fundamentally changes the game for patients. Other patients that could potentially benefit beyond these biliary patients include patients who have strictures of the ureter, and potentially with catheter design modifications, it could also impact patients who have strictures of the duodenum, with G-tubes, strictures of the esophagus, and elsewhere in the body.
The U.S. market size for specifically biliary drainage catheters is $107 million. This is just a small section of the attainable market. Drainage catheters can be used in other areas of the body beyond the biliary system. Therefore, cathSPANSION's attainable market encompasses the drainage catheter U.S. market of $514 million and the global market of $3.1 billion. To continue developing cathSPANSION, we plan to explore materials and manufacturing methods and scale this prototype down to current biliary catheter sizes on the market. Having filed for a provisional patent, further research, expertise, and funding is required to obtain an operational patent. Our device is Class 2 based on predicate devices and calls for us to submit a pre-market notification. Our product decreases pain and saves lives. Using cathSPANSION reduces complications and time in the operating room, giving you back the best quality of life that you deserve.